suggest. Special video today. We are calling this the Funny Card Cheat Sheet. First and foremost, before I get started with this video, I want to send a couple shout outs. First and foremost, send a shout out to the YT Alky. Another shout out to old Duke Bone, because if it wasn't for my dude Duke Bone and Alky, I don't think I would have been able to learn these little tips and tricks. So I will now share a couple of them with you in particular for those of you who like to focus on the funny cards. So, first thing I'm going to show you here as we start the video out, we're going to go through my career real quick, and I'm about to throw out a little spoiler alert as well. I have finished my 20th season on here, and for those of you who haven't, spoiler alert, be ready for a big disappointment, because what you're about to see, for those of you that haven't gotten through the 20 seasons, will shock and amaze you. I'll just put it to you like this. As of right now, I'm working with very little money. Yes, I'm still in the middle of my career, but as you can see, you are looking at right now what is considered season 2. We've already secured a championship after 20 seasons, and as you can see, you start over. Yeah, that happens. You hit your 20 seasons, people, you get to start over. But the good thing about that is you should have been playing long enough now that you should have a decent enough setup. 2, you should also have a better idea of how to attack as far as your parts and pieces are concerned, which in turn should help you to save even more money. So as you can see, even though we're sitting back at the beginning again, I've already secured $933,000, so we're well on our way to an easy million, because we have definitely learned. But what I would like to basically go into is to show you how to get good times, in particular in funny cards. Now, as I said, right now I'm in the middle of my second season of Super Modified, not by choice, but just because, yeah, that's what happens. But taking a look at my funny card times, if you look to your extreme right down at the bottom there, you will see that top fuel I ran 364.77. Quickest time was a 319. And I'm 2 miles an hour slower in the funny car, and about say 2.5 off the pace of my top fuel time as compared to the funny car. And it's easy to smash a lot of records, but there's definitely more room for improvement on this game, because even though you see those top times, it was not recognized as the national records when I ran those races for some odd reason. Something that they need to fix. Keep in mind, they've only done one update since this game has come out. Really don't know what it did, but that's what happened. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to back out of this, and this is where the cheat sheet comes into play. Now, the first thing that I will tell you is, in order for you to be able to pull off these times, you have to be prepared to do one of 3 things. The first most important thing, make sure that you have 3 stars on all your R&D, or otherwise it will not be possible for you to do this, even with the setup that I'm about to bring here. Now, I'm going to be honest. My setup is not foolproof. It's more catered to my driving style, but it does work. It works on quick play, it works online, and I've gotten some pretty doggone good times. So we're going to go to Pomona, and I'm going to throw Bob Patrick because I'm a Ford guy. And we'll put him up against vehicle. Select the vehicle. Now let's go on to tuning. So, as you can see here, this may look a little green to some of y'all, but this is pretty much what I ran for those 3 seasons of Funny Car. Once again, shout out to Alfie. Send another special shout out to Average Guys Gaming, because in particular, this is for Average Guys Gaming, who just recently got started on his Funny Car career. Congratulations on that. Took you long enough, fella, but glad you're here nonetheless. And so what you're looking at here is pretty much my base setup for my Funny Car. Right here is where you're going to get most of your speed. These 3 things right here are going to give you most of your speed. Now, I know in the prior video, I spoke to that before, but in particular when it comes to Top Fuel and Funny Car, these 3 right here are your bread and butter to securing your speed. Now, the rest of this is pretty much used at your own leisure. But take your time. If you want to take the time to pause the video while you're doing that, go ahead, by all means. I'm giving this setup for free. Now, you will probably find yourself making some adjustments here and there and wanting to play around with some things. But trust me when I tell you, what I have right here will give you the times that you just saw. I guarantee it. And this has been proven already, because believe it or not, this setup was passed on to me. And it was given to me by good old Duke Bone. Shout out to Duke Bone. And yeah, he got me right, and literally I went from running 340 to 350s and 360s, and you saw the last time they were phenomenal. And championships were a whole lot easier to win. But let's go ahead and get a run of this thing. We're going to check it out and see what's up. Actually, I didn't know you was here, dude. I didn't know you was here. I just now realized somebody was watching. This is just a special little video, fella. But yeah, I'm sharing your knowledge with a whole nother nice guy out here that's just trying to get it done. He just got started with his Funny Car, and he's struggling a little bit, so I figured I'd share the wealth and share the knowledge just a little bit to help him out. So I appreciate you for jumping on, fella. Definitely appreciate you for jumping on. But yeah, this is going to be a real short video. You know, I normally don't do the whole show thing. Most of my videos, I don't even say a whole lot. But I'm talking on this one because I have to teach. Got to teach a little bit.
Bob Task is up next. He's a veteran in both nitro and top alcohol funny cars. He set the world record for the quickest passing alcohol funny car history in 2007.
It really doesn't matter.
What does this guy have in store for us today?
I've come to realize that now. It really doesn't matter. If your setup is right, if you keep the car on the straight and narrow and down that path without getting all crossed up, it really doesn't matter where you have that level. You put that mug all the way down to 0, you can turn it all the way up. It really don't matter. I'm going to be honest with you. I myself have not seen a difference. But if you run your clutch differential and your final drive and all that the right way, this bitch is going to run regardless. So I figured I'd just throw that out there. Now, like I said, I throw everything. I ain't taking no fucking stuff. It's all good. Okay, 170. 170. Now, there's a huge debate going on right now. What is good tire temperature for your tires to be at? I've heard anywhere from 175 to 200 is good. You don't want to try to overdo it too much. But I will say that this same setup that I'm running right now, I have been wondering if we see this matchup. And sure enough, here we are with both drivers approaching the start line. Yellow. It's a truly solid run, but
they won't be breaking any records with that performance, albeit they still came out on top.
Let's see who ran. So as you can see, it says 344, 3.365. But keep in mind, this quick play. But 344 is definitely beyond the national record regardless. But like I said before, that's run the same setup that I ran in career. This same setup in career will give you that 360. Problem is, I can't show you guys that right now because I'm in the middle of my second stint of my career because like I said, it's, yeah, it starts you over from the get-go. But as you can see, this 344 on the speed, still good. 3.3 is still good. You know what? I'm actually going to try that. I'm about to try that.
The fans in attendance love that last race, and lucky for them and for us, we've got more NHRA drag racing action to come.
We're going to go ahead and try that right now. Except I'm going to use a different car. Because that's just me. I don't think it really makes a difference. But we're going to try that and see if it does. And if it does, hey, I'll take that. I will definitely take that. Go to Gainesville. Some of the greatest speed and the lap time records have been broken at this track over the years. I go back to the very first 270 mile an hour run. That's how far back I go. One of the very early drag races that I saw back in the day. Big Daddy Don Garlich, Swamp Rat 30, 1986 at the Gator Nationals. 272 miles an hour, which at the time was too fast for the record. And believe it or not, for those that don't know your NHRA history, he didn't back that record up the rest of that season. As a matter of fact, he ended up losing that record to Darrell Gwynn at the Texas Motorplex the very first year that they ran it in 1986. Remember it very vividly. Not only did he beat the speed record and surpassed Don Garlich, but he ran the fastest speed at that time for 86 standards. I know that sounds so cool like y'all because 300 just became a thing. But yeah, 278 miles an hour was run at the Texas Motorplex back in 1986 by Darrell Gwynn. I wasn't there, but I do remember it. So kick it down to about 15 and 20. So let's see what it do. We're going to go with 15.
Ron Capps takes his position on the drag strip. He's a two-time NHRA funny car world champion, tallying over 65 wins. On the luck coast, this is going to be a good
enough. Good enough. Like I said, it ain't got to be nothing spectacular. If you do too much, you'll be flying all over the track. Just like I've shown on previous videos before. You back this bad boy up, especially in the funny cars and company cars. It is crucial that you back this bad boy up into its track. So make sure in your setup you got a good steering setup that allows
it's
you
our
to
next round matchup
coming
up. Will we see another close race? Great performance today so far. They just put a very solid ET on the board once again.
I just put an algae right there because I was trying to pull the shoot and I pulled the dog on camera instead. I don't like driving with the in-car cameras. Yeah, still about the same. But like I say, that's quick play, and that's the online. That's what it does. It doesn't really, and like I said, I'll be honest. The ET did drop just a little bit, but only by a couple. The reaction time is still pretty much about the same because I didn't want to push the tree too much. But when you're playing on quick play, this is about what you're gonna get. Pretty sure Ryan Capps can run better than 303. That's one thing that I have noticed with the quick play. It's not really showing the times and things like it should. It still gave us 344, which is top speed for this car. But like I said, if it was career mode, this would be an easy 360 right here. He says try 20.
The fans in attendance love that last race, and lucky for them and
Let's
for
see what happens.
what a pleasure it is to call this event in front of our loyal NHRA fans. No better fans in the world than NHRA drag racing fans. We've been looking forward to this one. Be ready, everybody.
It's going to go on full time. Now we go.
And the driver in the left lane holding the brakes going up on that burnout.
Can he still run on whole tires at 120 degrees? Let's see. He's going to do it. I promise you he will. I promise you he will.
No love lost between these two. They jumped out of the wire in previous races. That's it for this race, unfortunately. The violation has brought an early end to the proceedings.
No. We lost. We're still going to get a look at that time of speed, even though he's disqualified.
There's another race down, and if this competition stays this fierce moving forward, we are shaping up to see an all-time thrill.
I did not know. Well, like I said before, I didn't think it made a difference, but I know for a fact with this setup, you'll get those 362s and 319s and 320s pretty easy. I've seen better than that, believe it or not. Anything, I'll be honest, anything better than those times that you saw is probably a hack. I'll just be real about that, because, yeah, unfortunately, that's the reared its ugly head on this game now, too, which basically filtered over from Street Outlaws 2. Well, it could be faster than that. Y'all's times was a little bit, y'all's elapsed times a little bit faster, but I definitely had the speed. I care more about the speed than I do the elapsed time. Y'all boys was running 314s, I believe, so that's a little bit better than me. Still can't quite figure out how y'all did that part, but I will get that eventually. I'm just happy to run the 360s. This is true. He is on an Xbox, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, if you know your history when it comes to racing games, when they're the same off of two different consoles, setups are going to be just a bit different. Just a bit different. But anyway, like I was saying before, this was just a short video. Just wanted to throw that out there, get the setup out. Hopefully, this helps a lot of you. You know, you don't have to let me know how it worked out. You don't even got to send a message. Just let me know that it worked for you. That's enough for me. And I appreciate the little bit of support that I do get. You know, I don't do this for the big fanfare or anything like that. I do it because I just like racing. And you may see me on here a little bit later on. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be coming with something a little bit different today. So it seems like old Alki done took all the F1 coverage. We're going to do something a little bit different from the same company that makes that F1 game that I've been praising so much here lately. And we're going to play some grid. That's what we're going to do. But this should be enough to have you ready. So like I said before, going over the quick cheat sheet again. First things first, make sure you got 3 stars on all your R&D. Second tip, run performance parts only. And here's the third tip to guarantee yourself that speed. Run the least amount of parachute. Yes, you heard that correctly, people. Parachute. Believe it or not, that is the secret to gaining the speed on this game. It took me a while to figure that out. I actually had it shown to me just to prove a point. But that is the secret. If you want that speed, if you want those good times, the parachute is your key. Go to the very first parachute that you ever had for this car, and you'll have your speed. And those are my 3 tips. And that's all I'm going to give you today. Holla at your boy.